This channel isn't known for sports highlights, and we intend to keep it that way. In the year 2025, the Super Bowl has evolved beyond just the biggest American football event of the year. It's now an annual tradition for people to call the halftime show the worst in history, no matter who takes the stage. But before we dive into why this year's performance faced so much backlash, or even why Taylor Swift was met with a stadium full of boos, let's start with the basics. Who actually won the game? Did the Chiefs secure their third consecutive Super Bowl victory? Unfortunately, no. In fact, they put on what might have been their worst performance yet. Now, I'm not about to stand here and pretend I'm a football expert. Thou shalt not lie, right? While I find the sport entertaining, I won't claim to spot the difference between a perfectly executed play and someone completely botching it. But one thing I do understand: numbers. And 40-22? Yeah, that's a rough scoreline. It was clear early on that this wasn't going to be Kansas City's night. The Eagles dominated the first half, leading 24-0, while the Chiefs struggled to put anything on the board. By the third quarter, the Chiefs finally managed 6 points, but the Eagles answered with 10 more. Kansas City fought back in the final quarter, adding 16 points to reach their total of 22. But the Eagles responded with another 6, securing their final score of 40 and the championship. This loss was particularly significant because had the Chiefs won, they would have made history as the first team to win 3 consecutive Super Bowls, what sports fans call a three-peat. Many teams have come close, but none have managed to pull it off. Winning back-to-back championships is already a major achievement, but breaking records? That wasn't in the cards this year. Now, you might be wondering, what does Taylor Swift think about all this? Leading up to the game, rumors were swirling that she and her boyfriend, Chiefs star Travis Kelce, might get engaged at or after the Super Bowl. Well, that didn't happen. Instead, the Chiefs lost, and the internet wasted no time joking that Swift would break up with Kelce over it, because obviously relationships work exactly like that. But here's the thing: Taylor was always going to be a winner no matter who took home the trophy. She's both a Chiefs fan, for obvious reasons, and a longtime Eagles supporter. A lyric from her 2020 album Evermore, "With my Eagles t-shirt hanging from the door," made that clear long before she started dating Kelce. While she likely wanted Kansas City to win, part of her could still celebrate the Eagles' victory. That didn't stop the Super Bowl crowd from making their feelings about her presence known. A video went viral showing Swift on the Jumbotron, met with a wave of boos from the stadium. Theories about why this happened spread quickly. Some celebrity gossip fans speculated it was related to the rumored drama between Swift and Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, since Lively, who attended the Super Bowl with Swift last year, was notably absent. Some sports fans argued it was simply because she was supporting the Chiefs while in Eagles territory. Booing the opposing team's supporters is just standard practice. Others suggested it was about her political views, her billionaire status, or just the fact that people are tired of hearing about her. Personally, I'd guess it was a mix of all of the above. But Swifties weren't too concerned. After all, Taylor Swift has sold out that very stadium 3 times over for her Eras tour. A few boos weren't going to faze her. Speaking of Swifties, they got a bonus meme out of the incident. When she heard the crowd, she gave the ultimate side-eye, staring at the screen before quickly looking forward. The moment instantly became a reaction image, with fans comparing it to that viral puppet meme of a monkey looking sideways. It's genuinely hilarious. Of course, Taylor shook off the criticism and enjoyed the game as best as she could. Meanwhile, something unexpected happened that didn't make the official broadcast, but quickly went viral online. A protester stormed the field during the halftime show, waving a flag. Security quickly removed them, but the timing made sense. The Super Bowl isn't just the most-watched sporting event of the year, it also had the sitting US president in attendance for the first time. If there was ever a stage to send a message, this was it. Now, let's talk about the one thing that happens every single year: people hating the halftime show. It doesn't matter who performs, someone will always call it boring, underwhelming, or just plain bad. However, this year, the experience seemed to depend on where you were watching. Viral clips showed that the stadium crowd wasn't exactly electrified. Lots of people were just standing around, doing the classic head bob or slow step touch. For some, this was proof the performance fell flat. Others argued that the energy during Not Like Us Alone made up for any perceived lack of excitement. The entire stadium screamed the diss track aimed at Drake. And honestly, if I were Drake, I'd never leave the house again after the Grammys. And this Super Bowl moment, Drake, of course, responded in the only way he knows how, with a questionable fashion statement. At his next performance, he wore a hoodie full of holes, with smoke coming out of them. You know, shots fired and all that. He got roasted for it, but to be fair, the stage effects were pretty cool. Now the question is, how will he respond? To the Super Bowl diss? Back to the halftime show. Let's be real. Rap performances hit differently than pop ones. Unlike Katy Perry, Rihanna, or Lady Gaga, who deliver massive sing-along anthems, rap relies on lyrics, and if you don't know them, you're just there for the vibes. And Kendrick Lamar? He's a lyrical genius, but he's got a specific audience. The hooks of his songs, everyone knows them, but the verses, not so much. That's why certain parts of the performance had the crowd hyped, while others fell flat. But Kendrick knew what he was doing. He took a risk. Instead of playing only his biggest hits, he performed a lot of tracks from his newest album, GMX, which dropped less than 4 months ago. And if that wasn't enough, he opened with a completely unreleased song, which meant no one knew the words. As one person on Twitter pointed out, Super Bowl halftime shows thrive on nostalgia. The crowd goes wild when they hear songs they grew up with. So, when Kendrick switched between classics like Humble and New Material, the difference in crowd reaction was obvious. That doesn't mean he gave a bad performance. His stage presence was incredible. But let's be honest, the way people dance to Single Ladies isn't the same as how they move to... Alright, speaking of dancing, the dancers crushed it. The whole stage setup was a massive PlayStation controller. And Kendrick, he even ended the show with Game Over flashing on the screen, a nod to both the Super Bowl and gaming culture. Halftime show art director Shelley Rogers later explained that the performance was designed to reflect Lamar's life as a video game. And honestly, it looked awesome. But hey, that's just my take. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. And if you're looking for sports highlights, try ESPN or something. Thanks for watching. See you next time.